Let's get it.
All right, thank you. We're back when Queens talk. On May 25th, 2020, outrage was sparked across the world when we watched the 9 minute and 29-second murder of George Floyd by Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. After a 3 week trial on April 20th, he was convicted on all three counts that he was charged with: second degree murder, third degree murder, and second degree manslaughter. This has been one of the biggest, most televised, emotional events that has happened in our country for a very, very long time. Um, how did it make you feel? Like, were any of you nervous about the verdict?
Nervous per se. I just was like, I was just anxious.
Mm-hmm.
I was very anxious
Mm-hmm.
because I kind of felt like, here we go again. Here go another negative outcome. So I kind of was like expecting the worst.
Yeah. Expecting the worst, hoping for the
for the
best.
best.
LA riot, okay, or just any other police on trial for the killing of a black
Because
person.
that's just one. What about all the other ones for all the other
Right.
deaths?
I really feel bad for all parties involved.
Mm.
Because under the scheme we all bleed the same. And the gig is up, we all need each other. So we kind of got to get over it.
Right, right. Do you think that the result would have been the same if there was no video? How big of a part of the outcome of this trial was based on this video that was shot?
It's shameful to say that I know that the video had a big outcome on where we are today with the verdict.
It was
And
me.
yeah, it was definitely.
But even they tried to justify that.
Right. And I was okay. I kind of felt that he would definitely be made an example of, just based on the political aspect of everything that had taken place. Nothing has ever taken place to that degree that you had so many people backing. So to me, it's like they had no choice pretty much to convict him, because it definitely would have been outrage in various communities.
So not only with the public outrage that has been shown from the time George Floyd was murdered till the verdict, but also the video footage, the eyewitnesses, like there was so many things that made it an open and shut case to most people. But at the same time, we were still all on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, the whole world watched him die.
Right.
Like, so that's just it's fucked up overall.
Right. So even to the most cold-hearted racists, it was still
Yeah.
it was hard
And
to
it
watch
shouldn't
that.
have
It was
took
hard to
this long.
justify that. Even to the most,
Mhm.
even the police officers couldn't justify it and testified against this officer. So I think, do you think this has changed how the police are going to interact going forward?
Absolutely
No,
not.
no.
Because the same shit.
No.
I mean, they just killed a 15-year-old little baby.
Right. But those were different circumstances, So
Yeah.
I do think it's important not to lump everything in together, because then things get convoluted. But with the other three officers, they're going to come on trial. The other three officers that were at the George Floyd incident. Let me see if I can find their names. But they are going to be charged as well. So do you think that officers being accountable for reacting or not reacting, so now these officers could be held liable for not intervening when their coworker was committing a crime?
I think they should get the same charges. If I'm carrying a gun and I'm out here robbing and L'Oreal and Jasmine are with me, they're going down with the same charges that I'm going
Right.
down. If I kill somebody and they're with me,
That's
they're
true.
going down with the same charges. So why would a police officer
Was it
get
guilty by
anything?
association?
Yeah, why would he
Implicit.
get anything
Right.
different?
I hear.
So
I have a different perspective on that.
Mm-hmm.
Just from the simple fact that I know one of the police officers, I mean, don't quote me or anything, but I'm pretty sure one of the police officers were new to the job. So, everybody been new to the job before. You know what I mean?
Right.
You a week in the job and your superior is telling you one thing, your superior, shit. I'm not really here to go against what the, I'm not quick to intervene when I've just started a job and just be like, all
Okay,
right.
so you might not know the need of the neck wasn't the
Right.
proper, you didn't.
And that's what I mean. Like, okay, you can say if somebody's still in the pen, that's different. But we all know right from right and wrong from wrong. Even if you're new on the job, if you're gonna sit there, and I think it was maybe a couple of months, wasn't a week, wasn't 2 weeks. If you're gonna sit there and actually allow something without saying something like, hey, hold up, I don't think that's cool. You're just gonna sit there
Right.
and just watch them. You don't say, hey, you don't do anything.
Right.
At least attempt to do something or speak up.
I'm
Right.
pretty sure if they knew that he was gonna die, like me personally, if I knew, I don't know. I've been new to the
said
job
over and over again,
I
I can't
can't
breathe.
breathe.
Yeah.
Right.
Right,
So he
right.
was
And
given
just
warnings,
realistically,
several
or
warnings.
just,
He just chilling on his neck.
on a basic level, what did you think was gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? If you
Right.
withhold oxygen for that long, just
Absolutely.
But
a
I
basic
wouldn't be thinking to
layman's.
myself like, oh, I'm about to go to jail because it's my first week on the job, 2 weeks on the job, and I'm about to go to jail for some shit that somebody else did. Like,
That's
hear
like
you.
guilt by
You feel me?
association. They
Right.
probably wouldn't think
I hear
they was
you.
gonna go to jail
Right.
if I was
I guess
carrying.
because I'm not a police officer, I'm a CPA, but in my line of work,
Oh, yeah.
we're all going down. I'm taking
Right.
everybody down. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so if you do some dirt on my job, you going down,
Yeah.
right?
It was
So-
him too.
Right.
So-
So I think, police officers have to be held to the same level of accountability as accountants.
Right, but
Yeah.
not the
That's fine.
snack, because you had I saw the video where the people who were actually in front of the store, the bystanders were actually speaking up and saying, hey, stop, what are you doing? He can't breathe, blah, 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 blah. You're so caught in the moment, Mr. Officer, that you didn't see or hear all
Right.
this taking place and visually right in front of
I
you, you didn't hear it.
I honestly and truly believe that he just got so, because you telling me not to.
Right.
I'm gonna
Made him
stay
I'm
on
going to
board.
continue.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
Just because you
authority.
said
Right.
not to.
Yeah.
It was so
I
That
have,
narcissistic,
yeah, I have the ability
right.
to.
Most definitely.
personality
Yeah,
disorder,
That's
right?
kind of why I
I'm
feel
proving a
bad.
point to y'all.
I feel bad for all parties involved.
Right.
Because look what you did.
Yeah.
not even
Look what you did. It's not even
Right.
worth it. For sure.
Right.
Well, it's a hard lesson. It's a hard lesson learned. I understand, we all make mistakes. We all have
Right.
choices. So to me, he has to live with the decision he made by murdering.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have been a cop anyway.
I don't think that everybody.
You shouldn't have
who
signed up for
is-
this shit.
Right,
You
everybody who
shouldn't have signed up
passes
for
the
this
police
shit.
academy isn't cut
Right.
out to be a police
Yeah,
officer.
yeah, like,
They
You
need to
know,
be more
there
strenuous.
is some
Right.
psychological testing,
Right.
there is not enough.
I don't
You
think
know.
diversity training is gonna help. I question behavioral training. I
Right.
even question psychological training because
Right.
some people can manipulate that and
Right.
pass through it. If you're racist or have a dislike for someone, that's like threaded deep inside of
Right.
you.
I do think community policing and serving in the community in which you live, where people who look like
Right.
you,
That's
I mean,
important.
that could make a difference. Do you think the outcome of this trial had to do with the diversity of the jury? So there's a 12-person jury. 6 of the people were white, 4 of the people were black, and 2 of the people identified as biracial or of mixed race. So that's like a 6 white, 6 brown or black jury, a minority jury. Do you think that had to, the jury deliberated, I believe, for 10 hours. So 10 hours is a quick turnaround for a murder trial. So that's like either you're all the way guilty or you're all the way not guilty, But do you think that the racial makeup of the jury had to do with the outcome?
I think, of course, when you just look at the research, when you have diversity in police, organizations, then the outcome for the community is just better. So that same key element just carries over, whether it be a courtroom or a community. We're all connected, so it doesn't matter.
Has anybody ever served on jury duty?
No.
And you could have been making
Luckily
the
not.
difference. You could have been making the difference. And I think,
That's all I have to
jury
worry
duty
about.
is super duper important. But yeah, showing up for jury duty is super important. It sounds like a headache, but yeah. It's
Luckily, I haven't had to experience.
I don't think it mattered if they was black or white.
You don't think
If you
so?
look at the video.
It was just too terrible. There was no way that
They
they
couldn't.
could.
They can't go in there, but like you go in the room full of, even if it's 6 other people in there, you gonna try to convince everybody else that
Yeah, this was a murder.
this wasn't a murder. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like how you even start that?
Oh, they tried.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They tried.
But how do you
definitely tried.
tell me?
So
that's not-
did anybody sit through the trial?
I did on and off,
Yeah.
not heavily into it because it was just enough last year just dealing with everything that had taken place.
I
So
agree.
I didn't want to put that in my spirit,
I
or I didn't
agree.
want to have a reason to be upset if the
I agree.
outcome wasn't
Mhm.
what I expected it to be. But I did, and I did gather some more information. I found a lot of things interesting. I found it interesting that they would try to justify it, but as a defense attorney, I can understand he's working for his client.
Right.
So
Right.
I looked at it that way. He's working for him.
And I work from home, so my hours was like during the trial. So I'm getting all the updates from the people that's calling, like
Right.
customer
Okay.
service. Like,
Right.
I'm just watching the trial, and these are all white people.
Oh, goodness.
And they were like, he needs to get what he deserves. And I'm
Okay.
like, oh,
All right.
Right.
okay, Tom. Thank you for choosing AAA. So yeah.
Okay, so sentencing for the trial is on June 16th. So he could get up to 40 years. And it was said that the judge is going to, or that the prosecution is going to ask for special enhanced sentencing. Like this crime was from children. There was a 9-year-old witness to this crime. So the Floyd family has received a $27 million settlement. And Derek Chauvin could spend up to 40 years in prison for this crime. What would be the outcome, or how long would his sentence have to be for you for it to be justice?
More than 40 years.
Right.
I bet just that penalty.
Yeah, that part.
Because The money,
Yeah, I mean,
thanks.
Money cannot.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
It just cannot.
money's not gonna
Definitely.
take away what happened.
Cannot.
Or it's not gonna
I don't
bring
think
it back.
they'll do death penalty in the state, and then also like there's got to be certain circumstances.
But then again, you
I
gotta.
think you only got second
But
and
then
third.
again,
and
you
get the
have to
rest
think
period.
about it. See, death is the easy part.
Right.
So he
Yeah.
do needs to suffer.
He needs to suffer in there.
That's true.
And based off his mug shot, he ain't gonna last.
I
I
hear
mean,
you.
you really suffer inside when you got TV. and you got
Yeah,
games.
of
I
course.
would want to be there.
They
That
gonna
way-
fuck with him in there.
That mental.
Most
I don't think
definitely.
anything will
You know, that's the biggest
suffice though.
fighting.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, all
Yeah.
right. So real quick, what are the next steps on the fight against the violence against unarmed Black men
And women.
and women?
And women for
What
sure.
are the next steps? What do we do now?
Well, we currently dealing with the fact that they pushed the trial date back for the police officer that killed Breonna Taylor, which I don't understand why they pushed it back. But to me, I feel like that's just they trying to give us time to forget.
Okay, well,
That's
we're not
how I
gonna
feel
forget,
about
we're gonna stay informed and we're gonna stay on it. What else? What else
I
can we
think
do?
they need to reopen the case in Texas. I think where the cop went into the gentleman's apartment and killed him. I think things like that need to be reopened.
Oh, the bottom machine, okay, all right,
I
all
think
right.
it's, soon as I get flicked, I'll tap in with my lawyer.
Yeah.
You know, it's not talking about.
I hear you.
I'm
I
so
hear you.
sad. I just tell my son if he gets pulled over, call me. Just
I
put me on
hear you,
speaker.
I hear you.
You know, and that's a shame.
Yeah.
We are
And it's
going
really
to,
unfortunately because this whole thing is unfortunate because we all have to just talk to our sons and we also have to talk to our daughters.
Right.
And that's a tough conversation to have,
Be honest,
Right.
especially with being parents with younger children.
Right.
Like we have to prepare them for this and it's just unfortunate.
It is, it is. Well, everyone here from When Queens Talk is praying for the Floyd family. We are happy that there was a conviction. We'd like to thank you for joining us for this segment of When Queens Talk from the FLAVA Broadcasting Network, where hip hop comes to life.
Boom. All right, 14:30. That was cool.